Yeah, no, it is great not to leave. Have this stuff right here available in between meetings, you know, in our break. So yeah, it's very accessible.
What have you thought about Lawrence just coming into the offense?
He's been great. Comes in poised, confident, you know, giving the play, and seen a lot. Him being able to ID the defense. You know, when they change, we're able to change, flip plays. So it's been pretty good.
When did you start to get the feeling once Urban got here, how much of a emphasis he was going to put on this whole sports performance thing?
Well, he was talking about that from the get-go. I mean, he's got a formula. You know, he's won everywhere he's been, so it's easy for us to buy into that. And it's very player emphasized. You know, it puts it on us, and you know, for us to what he gives us, you know, we got to take it, and then also give it when we're on the field.
Have you noticed anything from Walker Little?
Walker Little, no, he's been impressive for a rookie to come in. You know, offensive line, it's a little different when you're a rookie, but he's done some great things, and he's picking up the offense very well.
How important is it for you guys? I think you've been together now, the line as it is for 3 years. With a young quarterback and a new coach, how important is the continuity you guys have?
Oh, it's everything. And that's the thing that I'm most excited about is us as a line. You know, like you're saying, we've been together for 3 years, and you can see already the first couple of days, you know, we're starting to hit on all cylinders. The communication's there and the technique's there, and it's only going to get better.
You said you have noticed the most energy that you've noticed in a camp around here.
Definitely.
How about you personally? You've been in the league a couple years now.
Yeah.
Veteran player.
Yeah.
How do you feel, and how does this energy feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to come out here and drag ass and whatnot, but no, I've felt the energy lift. I've felt myself, you know, more happier in the building, more excited to come out here and perform.
Does it have a little bit of a college feel?
I say a little bit, but no, it's still a pro feel for sure. It's just more energy, and you know, this is the only place I've been, and I've only experienced what I've had the past 8 years, so this is new to me, and I wouldn't say college feel. It's just different.
Talking about the continuity, does it help that the regime changed, but your position coach didn't?
Yeah, I was really happy about that. That was the one. I mean, ecstatic about that. Coach Hop, probably one of the best offensive line coaches I've had. Helped my game, and I know what he does to those guys as well in that room, and just more than football, just about life, how to be men, and it's just a different relationship with them than I've had with any offensive line coach. So super excited that they kept him. Now we're just picking up where we left off.
How nervous you found out what was going to happen? Were you texting around trying to figure out, is he going to stay, is he going to stay? And when did you get the news that he wanted to stay?
Yeah, I mean, there was some stuff talked about, but once I did get the news, thrilled.
What makes him a good coach? What does is he technique oriented?
What makes him a good coach is he's able to relate to each of us as individuals, right? He has these intimate relationships with us on an individual, you know, level. So he knows how to coach me different than, you know, Norwell or Jawan. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm gonna say about that.
What's your position group? Which one of the guys would you say you noticed more has taken advantage of this whole sports performance and has transformed their body the most?
I mean, I couldn't say one guy. I know all of us have taken advantage of that, and it's showing out there. Again, third day, it's hot out here. I mean, it is hot, and we're feeling the effects. Today was good. It was smooth. We were flowing. So I wouldn't say one individual. I think everyone's doing a great job at that.
Brandon, the million-dollar question: how is Trevor Lawrence faring out there, in your opinion? And also, how is his fishing game? I've seen he's been trying to get out there on the water.
Yeah, no. Again, Trevor's doing great. I mean, rookie to come in, poised in the huddle, confident. He's making some incredible throws. I mean, putting the ball right on the receivers. So it's exciting. It's exciting fishing-wise. Yeah, he went fishing at one time, sent me some pictures. We talked about it. So we'll see. You know, we'll see how he does. We'll see how his sea legs are. Does he get seasick? I don't know.
You've seen a lot of free agent classes come in your time with the Jaguars. How does this group with Griffin and Jenkins and the guys that have come in, how have they been, in your opinion?
Oh, they've been great. Everyone's coming in energized, buying into what Coach Meyer's selling us. You know, I've been with Jenks in college, so that was nice to connect back with him. But it's been good. Again, everyone's all in.
Let's go back.
Practices are all non-padded, so pads go on Tuesday. Does the line look forward to the first day of pads in general?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you don't make it a big deal, right? we're still down there doing our technique even without the pads. We're still hitting. I mean, it's just we don't have pads on. If anything, the pads make it a little better. But you don't want to put too much of an emphasis on it, because then players get all tight and stuff. No, you just go out there and play. Same game we've been playing since we were little kids, so it won't be a big deal.
How good did you play last year individually? How good did you feel that you played? Are you playing your best football of your life?
Yeah, last year I was playing some very good football. I was very happy with it. I wanted to see that season all the way through. How I got injured was pretty unfortunate. But I felt dominant out there, and I'm excited to elevate my game this year and get better and stay healthy.
Brandon, from your vantage point, obviously working with both Gardner and working with Trevor, how would you assess the vibe in that quarterback room and for you guys as a team right now?
Yeah.
Obviously there's not a starter yet.
Yeah, no, it's great. They're both competing. Freaking love Minshew, love Trevor, and no, it ain't a weird vibe at all. I mean, again, we're a team. We know that at any moment, someone could get hurt, something can happen. The next guy's got to step up. So no, it's a great competition, and everyone's behind them 100%, both of them.
And you would describe it as a competition?
I mean, yes, however you want to say it, it's two guys playing the same position, yeah.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon.
I tell you what, appreciate you being out. Great energy out there by our fans. I walked out to practice. I didn't know what was going on. Coach Meyer was addressing the fans. I thought we had a full stadium, but no, it's great to have the fans out here and to have you all as well.
How difficult is it with the no press coverage, staying off the ball the first few days after everything that happened in the offseason? Is that difficult for you guys?
Well, it's a process. I mean, obviously we're trying to get better every day, and that's just part of the game. I mean, obviously we don't want to compete without shoulder pads, everything like that with injuries, and our guys are doing a great job of it, and they're flying to the football. They're doing everything they can within the rules.
How are your outside linebackers looking, Joe?
I tell you what, they're working hard, and we're expecting big things from that unit. And I see great improvement from Josh Allen, Jihad Ward, who's been with me before, knows the system. Caleb on Chason is playing fast. He knows what he's doing. So our coaches have done a really good job with that. And the young guys too, the Jordan Smiths that we just drafted, the older guys, Lorente McCray, everyone's doing a good job there.
Hey Coach, Andre Cisco, you couldn't get him on the field during the offseason because he was recovering from an injury. How's he looking so far?
Tell you what, he's getting better every day, and he couldn't do anything, as you know, coming off the injury at Syracuse, but he really has worked hard to get in great shape, everything he could do, and physically no limitations.
What was the retention like from OTAs? They have the break, then they come back. Were you pleased with the retention that the players had for your scheme?
Yeah, they were great. I mean, there's been a lot of retention because things hit faster. You take the training wheels off now when we're putting the systems in, and this is the third time they've heard it, and the first game will be the fourth time. But they're doing really well with the retention.
Joe, how much is Miles playing outside?
Well, right now we're keeping him inside, but there'll be some things where he'll move all around. You won't know where he's at, but right now we're honing in with him being on the inside. But there are some things we'll do where he'll be on the outside.
He's coming off his best season as a pro. What do you see from him in the first couple of days of camp?
I tell you, Brian, he's first of all great to see you. He's working his tail off. I mean, like you said, you talk about his best season. Some of the things he did in the open field were great, from afar, looking at him, and then when I studied him when I came in. But he's, Coach Strong's got him working, Coach Sutton, Coach Gilbert. The grind every day is just getting better and better, and he plays fast.
What about the guys competing to play next to him, Schobert and Wilson?
It's a great competition's a great thing. All three of those guys, all have been starters for a long time in the league, and they're all starters in my eyes.
When you look at your defensive front, particularly with so many new pieces coming in, and you got to try to mix and match them all together, do you even have some sort of an idea in your mind in terms of roles for everybody, or do you want to wait and let them go through a few weeks of pads, and then that'll give you a clearer picture?
Well, I think obviously a really good question, Gene. I do have some ideas in my mind, roles that they'll all play, but I think it all sorts itself out once the pads come on and once we get into live competition. Yes, good question.
Just to piggyback off that a little bit, I mean, we've been around here a bit. We haven't seen this kind of scheme. How flexible does this allow you to be with the personnel you have, and just not throwing guys out in one position, but in a lot of positions?
Well, a lot of times we all, and that's a really good question to piggyback off of what Gene said. This scheme, 4-3, 3-4, will be multiple in our scheme, but we can have 4-man fronts, and then basically we can have 3-man fronts, 5-man fronts with 5 down. So I think with the guys that we have up front and the competition, we'll have different package groupings that you won't know who's coming, who's blitzing, what personnel grouping we're in. We'll have all DBs and then 5 guys up front. So I think we'll be able to, once everything's settled, really hone in on different packages.
Go ahead.
Sorry, as a coach, I know it's only been 3 days. Vaccinated versus unvaccinated players, what challenges, if any, has that created in the building?
Well, I think obviously adhering to the rules of the unvaccinated players, but they have their limitations of how far they can sit and all that, the protocols. But it's like anything. Like obviously I got vaccinated. I mean, I chose and got educated why I should, and and that's what we're trying to do with our team. Coach has done the same thing, and but there really hasn't been any limitations in terms of the players, because they can be out here on the field and they can be in the meeting rooms, just have to be socially distanced.
How important is it to find these guys who are mentally versatile as well as physically? You guys do play people in a lot of roles. Like you'll have a guy who'll be a 5 technique, or you can go inside or go outside. How important is figuring out, can they handle all this information and all these different
That's
roles?
a great question. Every year as a defensive line coach, I said, if you want to add value to yourself and stay in this league, you better learn more than one position. So if I'm a 5 technique or a defensive end, I'm going to have to learn 3 technique or nose, because in a snap of a finger, someone gets hurt in a game and you don't have the body. Guess what? Someone has to be trained at 2 different spots. Same thing at the linebacker, putting Miles outside, inside. You have to know those roles, and coaches have to move their guys around, so that comes second nature.
When you have a guy like Jim, you had
Who's that?
Ward, who you've had already. How much does that help, where he can kind of pass that info along to other guys of what you expect from them and how that has to work?
I think obviously having players that have played in your scheme, maybe they simplify things for the players, at times. But I think it helps. But I think the guys got a better feel now than they did during the OTAs, and as we continue to progress, they'll have a better feel by next week in training camp.
Hey, Joe, how much did you know about Josh Allen coming out of Kentucky, and your thoughts on what you've seen from him in camp so far?
I really liked him. Didn't matter what scheme you were in, coming out of Kentucky. When he decided to stay and had, I think, 17 sacks, he was one of the top guys on my list, and I've seen nothing but I expect greatness from him.
Are you able to elaborate, Joe? Are you able to elaborate on Taven Bryan and his injury at all?
No, just obviously, it's an unfortunate situation. He'll be fine, but it's just going to take time.
So what do you like about your rebuild secondary? What do you like the most about those guys?
Well, I mean, we went out and we acquired some really good pieces. Rayshon and Shaquille. I mean, those guys, Shaq, great bona fide starters that have been in the league, and they practice like they play. And there are some guys that play well on Sunday and maybe don't practice well. Those guys practice like they play. And then the guys that have been here are really doing great things. And the rookies, we're expecting those guys to keep progressing.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
What's up, Josh? How's camp going so far for you?
Camp's going good so far, man. Definitely had a beautiful day today. Ready to get in pads, man. Ready to get going. See what everybody's, been working for. I'm just excited to get going.
You guys brought in
Deeper.
a lot of veteran free agents on the defensive side of the ball. What's it been like getting to know all those guys?
Man, I love it. I think the chemistry's getting there. We're getting to where we need to be. And I feel like we just hone into the process and hone into the culture, and we play with a relentless effort, which Coach Cullen always preaches. I think we'll be a hell of a group.
How much did Calais tell you about Joe?
I mean, I knew Coach Cullen from the Pro Bowl, so I kind of figured, what type of coach was he. But he just told me like he's real intense and he's going to give you everything he got. You got to run to the ball. That's one thing. If you don't run, you're not going to play. And just give it all you got. So it's real basic. You know what I'm saying? He's a hell of a coach, and I'm glad that he's here, and I'm glad I get to experience this, you know what I'm saying, this culture change with him. And nobody else better can run this Jaguars organization now than him. So I'm glad that he's here, and we're willing to go to work for him.
This scheme is going to look a little bit different. Joe just said it's going to be very multiple and all different looks. Does that put you all over the place, or do you feel like you're going to line up in a lot of different spots?
Yes, sir. You know, I'm back to ways where I can just move around and I can like disguise and I can, you know what I'm saying, get back to the swag. You know, like I feel like defense is all about swagger. And I feel like when you move around and you stemming, you don't know what that person's gonna do. That's always a good, you know what I'm saying. To me, like I love that. Okay, this dude don't know what I'm about to do, but I'm about to kill him regardless. So, like that's my mindset, and I'm going back to that. And we just opening up the game book now, and it's going to be a fun year for all of us, not only for me, but everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Joe just mentally beating a guy, like where he doesn't know who's coming or where you're coming from, help you physically beat a guy?
I mean, shoot, I train. You know what I'm saying? I train my butt off to be the way I look, the way I play, the stamina I got. You know what I'm saying? I train my butt off to be where I'm at today physically. So I know once I go, you know what I'm saying, I got to rely on everything that you know what I'm saying, everything that I got. So, you know what I'm saying, so naturally, instinctively, that's how I beat a man. But mentally, it's that mindset on, okay, I want to get this move. This the move I'm going to do. And then when I go, I'm going to rely on the tools that I've primed myself for to use that, to go out there. So, you know what I'm saying, it's fun. And then plus when you're working hard, man, I never pushed myself I pushed myself so hard this all season with Coach Jason Smith. And I just feel so great, and you know what I'm saying, I feel like I'm durable this year, and I feel like I'm, you know what I'm saying, I feel great.
Did you analyze yourself more this offseason because of Urban's emphasis on sports performance, or was this just something, your own personal mindset?
I mean, a little bit of both, man. Just being here in the spring, like even before the spring, like I knew I was working hard. And then once the spring came and I got to be with all the coaches and we got with Coach Urban, it was like that's when like my mindset started to change. Okay, I know where I'm at, and I'm in a good spot. But then once he starts talking and once he starts preaching, once he starts giving us life and examples of that, that's when the standard gets higher. And so once I reach that standard, then the standard is gonna keep on growing and growing and growing until that's where you can reach and peak.
What were your impressions of the rejuvenation room?
Man, I love it. We don't got to pay for it no more. The only thing we got to do is just wait in line. You know what I mean? That's the worst. But, you know what I'm saying? If you really need it, it's there for us. And we got all the training staff that's been busting their butt this whole training camp, this whole off season when guys weren't here. They were here working. So, you know, everything that we need is here. And, you know what I'm saying? You don't got to pay for nothing no more.
How different is the energy around the building and around camp now than it was a couple of years ago?
I mean, like I said, you know, last year. We got a whole new we got a whole staff change, whole player change. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a new face, new culture, new environment. The buildings change inside. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we can only focus on what we got here, but I love the intensity that we're playing with right now. I love how the offense is just coming together as one. I love how the defense is coming together as one. So I know we're going to play for each other when the time's needed. And we keep believing in what Coach Meyer and Coach Cullen is preaching, is telling us. I feel like we're going to go a long way.
Josh Miles said on NFL Network 2 days ago that when he lined up opposite Trevor on Wednesday, he said, "Oh, this is what a first-round pick looks like." What were your first impressions when you lined up for the first time? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, lining up against him, you know, in my mind's already made up on what I need to do. But like on the sideline and watching and going back on film, and then that's when I can really see, and I can see the development, I can see the growth that he's already made in these first couple months. It's crazy. So just to see him when the season comes, I think it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, I think the sky's the limit for that guy. And I love it.
speaking of growth, your buddy Caleb on Chason, how have you seen him embrace what was at times a challenging rookie season to where he is today?
Well, you could tell he put that work in this all season. I was literally just talking to him walking off the field on just the growth just the little changes that he's made. Just be able to rush the passer and do the moves that you know you're doing, but also if you get too high, when to come back. You know what I'm saying? He's getting smarter in the way he plays. He's getting more physical, and you know, I'm excited to get to rush the passer with him because I know he's going to take a lot of attention. And I know I'm going to give a lot of attention, and I know Roy, Malcolm, D-Ham, Smoot, Jihad, we all coming. So it's like there's no weak link on the line, and that's what I love about this D.
Joe Cullen said before you got here, I expect greatness from him. About you, what would greatness in your mind for this season? What would it look like? How would you define that you have reached something like that?
All pro, being an all pro, being an all Pro Bowl, making it to the Super Bowl, being Defensive Player of the Year. That's elite. That's that's greatness. That's where you leave a legacy. That's where you leave your mark on the organization. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my mindset's on, and that's what everybody's mindset's on. So, we keep developing and keep playing and keep practicing like this. Man, like I said, I think the sky's gonna be the limit for all of us. And you know what I'm saying, Coach Cullen, man, is just my guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm honed in, and whatever he says, I'm gonna do for him. You know what I'm saying? I trust the process, and he trusts that I'm gonna make, that I'm gonna live out that process for him. So, I'm ready for him.
You see yourself playing on opposite sides, look like you was moving up to the line of scrimmage, you played back off. Are you getting enough work to play all those different spots that you're gonna be lined up at so far?
I mean, athlete always gonna be an athlete. You know what I mean? So if I'm getting enough reps, it is what it is. But they want me to rush the passer for sure. But when that time comes, an athlete gonna be an athlete. You know what I mean? So that's all I can tell you on that one. But I'm ready though.
How much you think, you joked about it, but how much you think having the recovery stuff here saved you?
Man, it's not even just like adding, I'm so grateful that it's even here, but it's, you know what I'm saying, it's up to us to use that. You know what I mean? Like Coach Meyer always he's been telling us, ultimate authority. You know what I'm saying? That we have the final decision on what we want to do in our careers. And so, it can all be here, but it's up to me if I want to get in there. It can be here all I want. If I don't want to get in there, I'm not going to get in there. But if I want to be better and want to be great for myself and for my team, I'm going to get in there and use what they bought that stuff here to do. So, it's been a real blessing. You know what I mean? So if you get hurt, I can definitely see the less injuries that we've been having lately. And we continue to grow, continue to use those, you know what I'm saying, those products that we have out here for us. You know what I'm saying? I think we'll be all right.
Hey, what's your comfort level? I'm sorry. What's your comfort level with the COVID protocols and the regulations and rules? Obviously, vaccinated players and unvaccinated players have different guidelines. How are you processing that?
I mean, it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. If you got it, congratulations. If you don't, we still gotta work together. We still got an end goal, and that's what my mindset's on. That's what unvaccinated players' mindset's on. That's what the vaccinated players' mindset's on. My goal is to play football and to be safe and do what I need to do, and that's my goal, and that's what I'm gonna continue to do.
What was your thought process on actually getting vaccinated or not?
I mean, it's just a personal opinion. I can't really speak on that. Family, and yeah.
Thanks, John.
Good to see y'all again.
Thank you.
Good to see y'all again.